Hello and welcome to the Arena Sports Show. My name is Clauiee Grace Mpanza. Alongside me is football commentator Sizwe Mabena, my favorite influencer, sports journalist, Mahlatse Mphahlele. I've literally seen this man twice this week. It's absolutely absurd. Influencer, I'll start with you. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm seeing a lot of you lately.
It's crazy. A bit too much, yeah?
And also on the phone. Talking a lot on the phone.
Yes, I think we talk almost every day.
Yeah.
Mabena, you good?
Good, excited. Mahlatse, you remember this time. I think those our age will remember a time when South Africa was coming back into the sporting world. The World Cup was always a big deal. The Olympics was always a big deal. For me, these are the two biggest sporting events in the world. I don't care who says what. And the Olympics has got me really excited. It's a great time.
It's interesting you mentioned the Olympics. I was actually looking also at the outfits. I don't know if you guys have managed to see the outfits and see who's caught your attention. South Africa, I looked at it and I'm like, I don't know if we need more designers. No shade, but I think a little bit more creativity could have been done there.
From a South African point of view, I can't remember the last time anyone was happy with the design. So it's always about the performance. We look past the design. Like, no, don't worry about what they look like. It's what the performance is, really.
Yeah,
you know?
but I think for now, Mr. Press have done a good job.
Yeah.
Our ladies and the guys looks very, very nice. So the past they wish to wear those big, they look like pajamas. And everybody complain about this stuff. Even the shoes and the techies, they were not happy about that. But yeah, I mean, for now, it's good. Hopefully, they will translate that into what happens on the track and field, in the swimming pool, everywhere else. So the minister says golide. So let's see if they'll
So
bring
much
golide.
gold coming into the country.
We can only hope, right?
Yes.
And just a bit, we'll also have a guest who will be joining us, who has participated in the Olympics, of course, to give us more light as to what it takes to prepare for the Olympics and perhaps some of the challenges that they go through. But for now, a lot has been happening in your world of sports, so let's find out what's in your top stories.
Mamelodi Sundowns have confirmed the appointment of Romain Folz as the first-team assistant coach. Folz, who joins defending champions from FIFA's high-performance department, where he worked on the development of football, joins Mangoba Mneti, Steve Kompela, Wendell Robinson and Kennedy Mweni in the technical team. It's been 12 long years since Orlando Pirates players made their way to the podium to collect the Premier Soccer League Championship medals, but there is genuine hope from the players that the drought may come to an end next season. Speaking at the launch of the jersey for next season, Pirates players Thabiso Monyani, John Hotto and Mabena shared the same sentiments that it's long overdue. Akani Simbine flew into an exclusive sprinting club at the weekend and then declared he was looking to win what he believes will be a super open Olympic 100-meter contest in France. Simbine tipped under 9.9 seconds for only the third time in his career at the Diamond League meet in London, clocking 9.86 seconds to finish second behind world champion Noah Lyles. Orlando Pirates' new jersey for the 2024-25 season was designed with a tribute to a founder of the club in mind. The names James Sofasonke Mpanza, no relation to our Clauiee, has been embroidered into the back of the neck of the jersey.
Sizwe Mabena,
Yeah.
care to share why the shade? You might as well, you brought it up.
Well, I know my pennies are shaking things up in the world of football here in South Africa, whether in the commentary booth or on the field. Nice to see the Mpanzas are, beginning to make moves in the world of football. Well, we're only finding out right recently.
What do you mean you're only finding out this season?
Yeah.
It's part of the history.
Thrust into the spotlight.
Finally.
You guys are terrible, but it's fine. So a lot has been happening. And of course, then we have to choose our stars of the week as to who impressed us in the past few days. Sizwe Mabena, because I haven't spoken to you in such a long time, who has impressed you?
Well, Kaizer Chiefs, we've been saying now for a while, need to do well. I think over the last 3-4 weeks, everybody has come onto the show.
Is that why you got a touch of yellow today?
No, I'm thinking Springbok colours here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. But
Kaizer Chiefs work too. Yeah, very.
for Ranga Chivavila, Kaizer Chiefs scored 4 goals in the 5-2 win over Shahania. I mention him because Chiefs need a goal scorer. Last season, if there's one thing they were short of in some of their disappointments, it was goals. So, new coach, new player, scoring goals in pre-season. Hopefully his confidence goes up and then he hits the ground running in, of course, the STV Premiership. But we're hoping this will give him the confidence he needs, the teammates the confidence in him, and the technical team as well. And he'll be the answer to their scoring problems come the next season. So he's my player of the week, thanks to what he's doing in pre-season.
Well, I'm sure the Kaizer Chiefs faithfuls will be hoping that come the new season, we'll continue to have KC players as part of our Stars of the Week. Influencer, who has impressed you?
Yeah, I'm going rugby. Sasha Feinberg Mgomezulu. I tweeted during the match that I think you have got something special here. In the rugby terms, I've not seen something like this in a long time. He's a special player. I know as a fly half in rugby, you are picked for your kicking ability. No, proper kicker, but also his general play. He makes the team play. He directs the traffic. There's something about him, and I'm happy that he has been included in the squad for the Rugby Championship with Hande Pollard and Mani Libok. And as things stands now, I look at that position of number 10 for the Springboks. I don't know who's the number 2 after Hande Pollard. And I think if he continues at the rate he's going forward, going to the World Cup, he'll probably be our number 1 kicker. But for now, I think he's just a little bit edges Mani Libok, which means that Mani still has got a lot of work to do, because this kid is coming and is coming very strong. A special player.
Clauiee, please, let us know who your player of the week is. Please, just waste no time.
I nearly forgot to ask.
You just beat you to it today. But I'm glad you asked, Mabena. My star of the week has to be Lewis Hamilton. And it's not only just about the race that happened, of course, last week in Hungary, but it's just the consistency, because the fact that he got into the podium, that marked him being the first driver in Formula 1 history to record 200 podiums. So Michael Schumacher is second with 155 podiums. So that just shows that Lewis Hamilton has been consistent. It's easy to say, yes, he's winning and he's showing up, but to do it over and over again, it's been absolutely impeccable. First time he joined Formula 1 was in 2007, and he won his first race 2007 in Canada. So it just shows that he's been a consistent driver.
So you said 200 podiums, right?
Yeah.
First driver to reach 200. And I'm just trying to catch up to all you motorheads. And Schumacher's at?
155.
155?
Yeah.
So the gap is that big, like 45 races, like 45 podiums?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Proper legend.
Yeah.
Proper legend, right?
Yeah.
I guess we can say he's a GOAT in his own right, and it's great to see, of course. And it's not the end, because next season there's Ferrari, so looking forward to seeing how that will also translate to the records that he's hoping to break. Orlando Pirates, Orlando Stadium. The reason why I've been seeing Mahlatse Mphahlele so much, and it hasn't been too nice, because seeing Mahlatse off studio is always an interesting one, because of the little jabs that he takes with other journalists. But it's a nice sight. We were at Orlando Stadium for, of course, that kit launch for the 24-25 season. Mahlatse, what's the general consensus from the players and the journalists as well?
Yeah, I guess we spoke to the players, and one thing that comes out is that the players among themselves are having chats about the fact that maybe the time is right to go after Sundowns. Sundowns have had a change of situations with the coaching staff, and people generally believe that maybe for the team to come back again and gel as they were over the last while, it may take a while. We were with last week with Bosi Mboka, Will Katsande, who mentioned that those players who were too close to the coach, they will need to let go and accept that things are the way they are now. And the Pirates players are mentioning the fact that maybe the time is right for them to really go after the league. It's nice to win cups, but a true champion in league football is a guys who goes for 30 matches, consistency, scoring goals, defending well, playing well. To do that over 30 matches is what really makes you a true champion. And Sundowns have done that for 7 seasons in a row. So Pirates are under pressure. The last time they won the league was 2012. It's a long time ago. For a big club to go such a long time without having won a cup, in the league, it borders on unacceptable.
I think Clauiee was still in high school when Paris started last
Really?
I think
What's straight today, Sizwe Mabena? Don't appreciate it.
Good for you.
Don't have to expose my age. Hey? Like, there's no need at all.
But just to get back at that point.
But a quick question before you get to the point. Yeah. I know you and I have always spoken, about in terms of the depth of Orlando Pirates, the star quality that they have. So going into the new season, do you still see that? Because they've released senior players, but there's also new talent coming in.
That's the thing with Pirates. On paper, it's as good as Sundowns for me. Yeah. So even when they do release players, they're still left with what's on paper a very good squad and one that's good enough to compete. I can't remember the last time I looked at the Pirates squad and I thought you can't compete with Sundowns. It's just about Pirates getting their act together to compete with Sundowns. But over the last couple of seasons, there's also been that growth and continuity that's also rubbed off on the fans. I mean, you remember earlier this year, Pirates fans turning out for games and the atmosphere that went with Pirates fans in Pirates games and the excitement, the Nedbank Cup run as well. So it's all coming together, I think, quite nicely in trying to catch up and believing that this year is the year, with or without Ryan Mugwena. I think they would have come into this season thinking, we'll give them a good run for their money.
And other thing for Pirates, don't underestimate the continuity of the coaching. I know they've lost, I think, the assistant coach, but it doesn't really affect them that much. The head coach is still there. Coach Mandangas is still there. Most of the players who were there last season are there. The one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is Champions League. If they get into the group stage of the Champions League, they will be tested there. And you look closely at the Pirates team. Most of those players there at Pirates don't have continental experience. Most of them haven't traveled on a continent with junior national teams, senior national teams at club level. There, if you are in a tough group, if you have to go to West Africa, go to North Africa, you find somebody there in the Yanga or something, it can be very difficult. So how they are going to navigate around that, and also the coach himself is not experienced in terms of African continental football. So that's where I think they will be tested. But domestically, if they do things right, if they are consistent, I think they can come after Sundowns.
They definitely could. Let's find out what more transpired at Orlando Stadium as Orlando Pirates officially launched their 2024-25 kit. And then on the flip side, we talk all things the Olympics, and we have a special guest to unpack that for us. But for now, let's find out what happened at the launch.
As we know, last season the green wasn't the best jersey for away games, but we still stuck to the green because we did play well in the season, 2 cups. So we're hoping that just because we took it a bit darker, I think it plays into the part that we're now hoping that we're going to win the leagues this season.
This is our armor. This is our armor for the season. This is how we send out our declaration of intent to all the players, all the other supporters, everybody that's out there, that Orlando Pirates, this is our armor, this is how we'll be coming through this season. And it's a beautiful jersey. Again, the innovation and the style from Adidas, that's no one that we've been together for over 30 years.
First of all, the jersey is gorgeous. It looks blue, but apparently it's true green. I love the black, classic, it's scary. Black and red looks so intimidating on the field. I have big expectations for the boys, Jose's done a really good job with the guys, but it looks like it's a cup job that he's done. Now we need to see how we can do it on the league scale, on a long-term basis.
We've always believed as Orlando Pirates, and that's why from time to time we'll go back and get inspiration from the past. We believe in honoring our past, and Obabu James of Mpanza is one of the founding members of Orlando Pirates. It was Orlando Boys Club, later morphed into Orlando Pirates Football Club.
I think having Obabu Mpanza, if you'll see here at the back, having that name on us is like, we're carrying our ancestors with us and the history. So we're truly excited for the season.
The true green that we got as the away jersey is stunning. Can't wait for it. My nails are ready. So when I wear the blue jersey, when I wear the true green jersey, I'll be looking proper.
Feeling quite positive, good. We came recently back from a Spain tour. It was a success in my point of view, and the team, with a few lads coming into the team, we're looking forward to gel. We've done a lot of team building exercises, and we're just looking forward to the season.
We will do much better this season. I think the team, there's not many changes also. If you look at our starting lineup last season, this season is quite consistent. So we are hoping that same consistency will carry us through the first half, and then we'll see halfway through how we've done, you know.
We don't only want to be better than we did last season, but we want to emulate what we did when we won the first star. We want to put that second star as an innovative club, as a club that pioneers and perseveres and overcomes any difficulty or any challenges that we're faced with. We want to go back and win the Champions League, and we know that won't be an easy task, but we are geared up for it mentally, physically, spiritually, and with this beautiful armor, nothing can stand in our way.
From Esgodini, we move on to now track and field to talk all things Olympics. Joining us now is Hendrick Mokganyetsi, who has participated in 3 Olympic Games. And not just that, he set his best time in 2000 in Yokohama. So we've got a man who's all experience and, of course, is also the chairperson of the Athletes Commission. Hendrick, thank you for joining us. Speed looks like you still got it. I think at your age, you can definitely outrun all of us at this point.
Not me.
No,
You too, mainly you.
Thanks for an invite. You know, I don't want to put my guest here under the pressure, you know. But I think they can follow what, after finishing, they can approach. But on a serious note, thanks for an opportunity that we come and talk about athletics.
Having participated in it, talk to us about, you know, firstly, your experience in preparing for the Olympics, how it is. Do you still get goosebumps thinking about, you know, when you participated in back in the day?
Yes, I do. You know, when I look at those rings that says Olympics, I remember my time when I qualified for the Olympics. It was 1995. And I was the youngest in the team. 1996. You know, things happened in 1996. May his soul rest in peace, the former president. A special plane was made for us. It was called Ndizani with African colors. We were wearing Madiba shirts, and we traveled with him to Atlanta with Felicia Mabuza shuttle that you know that time. We arrived in Atlanta. We were singing Shosholoza. We hold Atlanta airport at hostage. The man was in front, Mandela, and then Sam Ramsemi, while he was still the president of NOXA. You know, that it was an eye-opening for me. What does the Olympics mean, and what does it mean to represent the country? At that major event, we camped in the university called in Georgia, in Atlanta, preparing for the Olympics, and our first Olympics, 1996. Where we were recognized as a country, so that our team was the first one to raise the South African flag as recognized, taking back from the 1992, where the team used the Olympic flag. So it was very history for me, and then from there I took it serious that I'm a soldier, that I must fight for my country when it comes to athletics. And my second Olympics was in 2000. In Sydney, where I reached the finals in 400. It was not easy. 3 weeks before, I ran the SA record. So going down to Sydney, I was one of the favorites. And my last Olympics was 2004 in Athens, where I ran the 4x4.
So which one is your favorite from the 3? Just to pick you.
Sydney, the opening ceremony was massive. You know, it was massive. But comparing to 1996, where I met, may his soul rest in peace, Ali Mahomet, is the one who light the torch of the opening. So 2000, it was Katie Freeman. You know, it was massive.
I have to take you back to 96, especially for South Africa, and there were some legends that came out of that one from a South African point of view. Penelope Haynes, Ezekiel Siping, Josiah Tugwani as well. They were legends and legendary in their performances there. But also, that was the year Michael Johnson took over the world. I mean, he ran a record that stood until Wade van Niekerk broke it in the 400. He also ran a record in the 200 that stood until Usain Bolt broke it not too long ago. What was it like, because you were competing in the 400, to watch him in action and to see the face of athletics, track and field then at the very best, breaking world records in the world?
You know, before I joined athletics, I was reading about Clauiee. And Clauiee was my hero at that time. And then for me going to the Olympics and running against Michael Johnson, I had a motto that I said, there's no hero for me, I'm the hero to myself. For me, lining up with Michael Johnson, I told myself that I'm here and I must show the world that South Africa has got talent that can line up with the big names in the world in terms of athletics and 400. He did his best, we did our best, he ran the world record. And for me, it was an experience, and it was my first Olympics. So I took it from there. So I took that experience from Atlanta to Sydney, where I reached the finals.
You mentioned the torchbearers, right? This year we've got Snoop Dogg, who will be the one who's holding it. And we're making a joke off air as to hopefully he doesn't light a blunt while he's carrying it off the torch. How special is it for the How special is it for the athletes, you know, to have someone prominent come out and actually hold it? What does it mean to you guys? I mean, the fact that you still remember who held it back in your days, the significance of it.
It's very important. It's a memory that you'll go down with it, and it's a memory that you must share with people. You know, looking at Ali Mahomet lighting that torch, and he was using bow and arrow, and all of us we were looking at him. He was like, you know, he was shivering. He was having that sickness. And we were like, will he make it? Will he make it? And suddenly just the light went on. And it was the opening, very exciting, a moment that I will never forget.
So, Hendrik, from my side, I just want to check, looking at your journey, athletics journey in South Africa, how far have we come? And there's always been this thing that, you know, we haven't really fulfilled the potential as a country in terms of athletics. Winning enough medals. Most of the times we don't get much, but as athletics generally, track and field specifically, which is what's your stuff, how far have we come?
Yeah, I think we've come a long way, and we still have a long way to go. Remember, in an Olympic team as a multi-coated, the country always look at swimming and athletics to bring back the medals. And then in the past Olympics, we have struggled as athletics, but I think this year, as a federation, Athletics South Africa, we had to change our preparation plan with the buying in of the coaches and the athletes, and our focus was more on the relay project. And recently you saw the individual performance of Akani, Benjamin Richardson, these young boys that are doing very well, Sean Maswanganyi, not forgetting even the road running. Elroy is in a good shape, Stephen Mokoka, and the 3 women, first time ever that in the marathon will be represented by 3 women. So as Team South Africa, we believe that everyone in that team is capable to bring back a medal home.
Hendrik, what I want to find out, just to follow up on that, right, the qualification system, in your opinion, because you look at the Americans and how they do it, that you just need to go through the trial period and set the best time, and whoever sets the best time, they'll go and represent their country. Whereas now when you bring it back home, you have a Wade who had to drop out of his speciality to then try out in the 200 meter. And there's an Adams who was already qualified. So talk to us about your thought on how we set our qualifications, and that should perhaps the trial era be represented and tried out in South Africa?
Yeah, I think it's something that we are looking at as a federation, but it's not easy because of the weather. When the Americans are doing the trials, it's summer for them. Our side is winter. So if you're a South African athlete, you need to pick 3 times to challenge the Americans in the championships. So that's why after our SA championships in March, April, most of our athletes are moving away to Europe to stay in a summer season and to compete with international. So for us to come and have the trials, it will be around winter, outside winter, and it's going to be difficult for most of them to achieve. So that's why the qualifying standard is very difficult in terms of the weather conditions.
Where would you say our strong point is when it comes to track and field? I mean, the Kenyans and Ethiopians we know is middle distance and so on running. But from a South African point of view, it seems some years we're great in field long jumps and so on. Some years we've got potential, maybe the shorter distances, the 400s, the 800s, the 100s. But do we have a strong point? Do we have a country that could maybe, if we reached our true potential, compete just about in every area in track and field?
Yeah, I think when we look at our stats, we take field, that's where we dominate more. If you look at the recent results coming from the Africa Champs that took place in Cameroon 2 weeks ago, our
A whole lot of medals.
Yes, medals came from the field events. But even in the sprints, we are dominating in Africa, that we need to measure ourselves to Europe and America. But we are very excited with the plan that we have built as a federation, that in next coming 2 years or whatever, so we can compete with Europe and Africa in all distances.
I want to talk about Indaba because it was held in January as to, you know, the challenges that athletes go through, right? And mental health being one of the big talking points for the athletes. Talk to us about, you know, what came out of that Indaba in January as to also helping the athletes prepare for the Olympics.
Yeah, it's a culture that we have built in the federation, that in January as Athletes Commission, we called all the athletes and the coaches that we must sit and talk about the challenges and look how can we work forward. We focus on the mindset, and we invited psychologists to come and assist the pressure, the athletes that they are facing. As you see now, the Olympics, now some of the athletes start panicking, will I make it, will I won't make it? But I think now if you look at Akan, he's ready, and most of them, they are ready based on is the outcome of that athletes in Indaba that we had, that you need to calm yourself down. Just focus on the race. It becomes a normal race. Take it as easy at eliminations until to the finals. I think it had played a big role to most of the athletes.
Hendrick, as a follow-up also, a lot of people just always see the finished article when the guys are running, and you don't know the amount of work that happens behind the scenes over a sustained period of time. You know, these guys work very, very hard with their coaches behind the scenes. And also, what does it take to go to a major championship or an Olympic and win a medal there?
It takes a lot. You know, for you to win a medal at the Olympics, you need to have a crew that will support your dreams, a crew that will dream with you. It starts with the federation. The federation needs to play a role to make the environment conducive for you to compete, support where it needs support. It's either financially or in terms of administrative. The coaches that you need to be with, doctors, people that can talk to you. So it takes a lot of crew, a big crew that will support you to achieve. So we are very excited that the coaches and the crew that we have, even the federation, to support the athletes to be where they are very happy. But we still have to do more to make sure that they are comfortable with what we are doing as a federation and the support of the country. The most important thing that we need to do for the coaches is support. And then the support that we lack, even most of the federation, is financial support. So we are always knocking in the government, knocking in corporate, say, please pump in money for these athletes they can achieve. Because for them, athletics is their work, like us waking up in the morning, and then they expect financial support. So we need more on that.
Hendrick, you are a coach now at TUT. How is that going?
You know, being a coach is not easy because you need to be able to read your athletes, the mood when they come to training, and also preparing a training program, and with the focus of when should they be ready for competitions. So you look at all the athletes that went to the Olympics, so it was not easy for all their coaches to pre-plan them that they must be ready for now for the championships. You look at Prudence Kgodiso. The country is looking at her to bring something, and when they departed on Sunday, we said to her, just calm down, you know. Don't allow this pressure of the country that says you're a medal prospect. Just take it easy, run your race. When you are in the final, anything can happen. So it's not easy to be a coach of an elite athlete.
And also maybe just on Kgodiso, the pressure of the weight of expectation on a young lady like that. She's her first Olympics. How does she approach this event? Because there's a lot of pressure and expectation on her shoulders.
Yeah, as I said, the country, they expect a lot from her, but we said she must just take it easy. She's still a novice, first Olympics, she must go and learn, And then hopefully 2028 she will bring a medal if she can't bring it now. But we're not saying she cannot bring it. We said she must take it easy. The eliminations, when he's in the final, anything can happen.
Well, I ask you because now you get to work with a lot of NC, a lot of young athletes, I should say, that are coming into the game. One in particular, Benjamin Richardson, did well at the SA Games, 100-meter, 200-meter prospect, maybe not for this Olympics, but in the future. How do you see him as a prospect for a South African hopeful as far as competing with the very best in the world? Big guy, powerful runner as well. What do you think of him?
Yeah, you know, we've got a pool of young ones, identifying Benjamin Richardson from Pretoria, studying at Tuks, and you could see his pyramid of progress in athletics. And then now, 2 weeks ago, he ran 19.99 in 200. He ran 9.86 in 100. So he has developed, but we think 2028 will be his time. But not writing off that anything can happen now in Paris. He's going to run the relay. Even in their relay, there's a youngest guy, the Walaza. He's going there, very excited, and we hope that he will surprise anyone because they will say, no, this is a young boy. You know,
sure.
Novice, they don't care who's in the lineup. They just run. So we just hope these young boys that we are nurturing for 2028 and beyond 2028, they will deliver for the country.
I'm interested, Bra Hendrick, as to now the conversation with the likes of Akani Simbine is, because you look at Akani, well seasoned, and we know what he brings, and we look at, you know, just the trajectory in terms of Paris. He seems on form, but now you look into the 100-meter. The competition is tough, right? You've got Kishane Thompson from Jamaica, who just set also one of the fastest world time. You've got Noah Lyles as well. So, what's the conversation with Akani, and perhaps how do you see him faring at this game?
Akani is mentally ready. Akani he's hungry for a medal. He has been there. He has been finalist on major events. If you do look at the race that took place in London on Saturday, 6 of the athletes in that race, they will be in the final, including Akani. So he said he's mentally ready. So if he reaches the finals in Paris, there will be fire. And we hope that he will be one of the top 3 in the podium, that he will bring something home.
What is the major difference, do you think, in the way we develop our athletes between the time you were young and trying to get into an Olympic Games to the way we develop them now, preparing them for the Olympics and so on? You
know, it starts at home. Like if you're an athlete, there's levels that you go for you to be an elite level. You need to run at your provincials events, you get used to winning and loses. You need to run your national championships. You need to run overseas in Europe, some individual race, so you can build and have a major event, one of the major, maybe let's say world champs or Africa champs. It goes there as your first chapter to learn how does international athletics will you expect going forward. But I think in this team that we have, most of them, they've went through major, and our program is working very well. As I said, that the backing of the government and the coaches and the parents, we hope that 2028 it will be more medals than what we are going to get now, because we have measured ourselves that we'll bring 4 as athletics, So track and field. We're looking at 4 will come, 4x1 relay, 4x4, Akani, Prudence, anyone from the team. Looking at the marathons, as I said. The entire team is focused.
What about Wade? Because is he part of the 4 that you are hoping we get?
Yes, Wade is there in the 4x1 relay. Yeah. He's going to run the 4x1. You know, as I said, that everyone in that team is capable to bring a medal, because Wade, he's hungry in the 200. He's never made it in a 200, so he just wants to make a mark in a 200. That what I've done in the 200, it was not the full. I can do it in a 200. So that's what we're saying. The entire team can bring a medal.
When you look at us competing at, let's say, World Junior Champs and so on, and the transition then to move on to the seniors, how are we faring in the juniors and transitioning into the professional ranks?
Yeah, it was not easy, and it's not easy to transit from the juniors, because when your first year in the senior level, you still have that fear of am I here? Do I fit? But the young ones now, that's why in our championships we've got junior championships and senior championships. We mix them with the juniors, so they must be able to learn to run with seniors as they're going forward. Like you look at Benjamin, We grew from that system. Now we have Walaza growing in that system, going to the Olympics. So it's a system that we thought it will work, and it's working.
Hendrik, let's just zoom in into the marathon. And my focus is on Gerda. I know the Sian and Yvette, who have qualified and quite prolific runners. Gerda dominates domestically. She's the queen of road running in the country. Do you think she can finally challenge at the Olympics and any podium?
I think it's her time this year. If you look at how she performed at the Two Oceans, how she performed in Comrade, and when we had a meeting with her agreeing on the plan, she said she's ready, and she's a very experienced marathon runner, and she's based in France, so she knows the weather, she knows the route, and we hope that with that experience, it will be an advantage for our team and for her also to bring a medal.
So you mentioned medals, and the sports minister, Gayton McKenzie, has also said Golide needs to come into the country. So let's find out what more he has to say.
Golide, gold. I expect gold, lots of gold. We will not even know where to hide the gold that is coming. There will be so much gold. I'm telling you, the Paralympic team, the Olympic team, the guys are motivated. And I'm going there to motivate them further so that they can bring gold, they can bring medals, and we'll take it from there.
It's great to see the sports minister being so passionate and wanting, of course, all the best for South Africa at large. From you, Bra Hendricks, I mean, how have you received the new sports minister? And I mean, he's clearly passionate about his sports.
After he has been appointed, he invited us, the 7 federations, and we met with him, and they've been asking us as federations, what is our plan? And he wants to buy in and support our plans. We told him that our first plan is for the athletes to bring medals at the Olympics, and he said he will support you. And I heard that he will be traveling to be along that to support what he has promised. We welcome him and appreciate him with the energy. We met with him on Saturday on the Mandela race. We walked with him and ran with him, and he pledged his support. He said athletics is not an easy sport to run, so it's a social cohesion sport. He will support us wherever we need his support, that our athletes must deliver for everyone.
What does it mean to you guys? Because a lot of the times, the light goes to the likes of your football, your rugby, but having a sports minister who's just as, passionate and so vocal about supporting every sporting code, because when he was appointed, he even mentioned that he wants to see cars spinning as being included as part of the sporting codes in South Africa. How do you guys receive, that support coming from government?
We appreciate that. As a federation or a sporting code, you need to fight for your position against the soccer, rugby, so that people must support you, people must love you, people must love the athletes. It's not about us, about the administration. But for us as administrators, is to present the athletes to the country and know them and support them. When we organize events, it must be attractive events that people are happy to watch it on TV, people are happy to come to the stadium and see their athletes that they support, their elite athletes, their heroes. That's what we do. And we really appreciate his energetic, and we hope everybody will support his energy, that South Africa must bring more medals, whatever sporting codes, that must come back to South Africa.
And I think, Bradley, also the other important thing is here that the Olympics is not only about the athletics, track and field per se. There are other smaller codes that will be involved there. It's equally important that as South Africans we must support everyone who is there, not only to focus on the athletes maybe or the swimmers, but everybody. There's judo, there's wrestling, there's tennis, there's sevens rugby. There's a lot of things happening there, and we have representatives in those codes. So the significance of saying let's support everyone, not only the major codes.
Definitely. We want the South Africans to support Team South Africa. So including all the sporting coaches, whoever line up there, whatever, in the swimming, in the soccer field, in the rugby field, in fencing, wherever they are, when they are wearing the green and gold, let's support them. And they will know that home, there are millions that are watching them. There are millions there who wants them to achieve. And they will definitely raise the flag very high.
And by the way, one of the medal contenders at this Olympics will be sevens rugby, because we are quite strong in that discipline.
Yeah, rugby have been fighting for their positions, the way they've qualified. You can see that the progression, they were ready for the Olympics. And we also wish that they deliver from their side as rugby.
On that note, let's find out what Roscoe Specimen has to say in terms of course, what they have to achieve and that magic that they carry as the Rugby Sevens team.
Our team will always be behind us because they like the energy that this team brings to them, and I know they will be awake when Spec Magic is doing his thing, and you know, when Spec Magic is there on the field, they know it's always a magic moment.
Great to hear, of course, the word magic being thrown around. Brian Hendricks, you know all too well about magic. I mean, you were talking about the Madiba magic, right? So now going into these Olympics, what kind of magic? I mean, you say 4, right, from 4 medals that we can expect. What kind of magic are you expecting from Team SA as a whole?
The magic that we have discussed from our side is cohesive magic. United, you can deliver for the country. So if everyone line up there, let's support, whatever it's 100 meters or 200. You know, sometimes you line up, you look at the stand, you don't see any green and gold. And you say, no, they are not supporting. But if you line up there, you look up there, that cohesive, that unity, those who are there, you see them and you say, they are here. Let me show the world that I've got supporters and I can deliver for that. So that's the unity that we are talking about.
Do you find the sport, maybe track and field in this case, maybe struggling to find its place in the South African hearts? I'm talking now domestically, that when we were growing up, we knew who Mphahlele Zimande was, right? We knew he was running hundreds and so on. So we had national heroes, even before they hit the international stage, that we knew already within the country. Is it quite the same now, or are we finding it tough to compete with all the other sports and just the way life is now, maybe with social media and so on, and get national heroes before Asina and company compete against the best before they leave the country?
No, I think as athletics, we fight for the position, and people who love athletics, they follow us. And then we appreciate, even if you get the stats from the watching of athletics, you can see that there is a number that is growing. People follow us, social media, people follow athletes, people will inquire, will phone, athletes tell us when are they running, when are they leaving. So we share that information on Saturday. Sunday when the team was leaving, there were a lot of people at the airport. Some they don't even, the athletes, know those athletes who were traveling, but they were saying, this is athletics, this is always what I watch. So we appreciate the support, but we still need more people that our athletes can feel more comfortable.
Branding, another area which is not much of your specialty is the aquatics, the swimming. You have mentioned 4 from track and field. There may be maybe what, 3, 4 more. When I look at our aquatics team, I mean the guys, as Peter could see, is Shuttle Close going for his 4th Olympic Games. Matthew Says, you know, with the ladies, is Amy, is Kellen Corbett, Tatiana Smith. So there is another area where, you know, historically we've always got medals.
Yes.
At least one. You know, maybe 2 golds, 2 silver, a couple of bronze medals there. That's another area where if we do well, we can strike gold there.
Definitely. Charlie Slow is a legend in the pool. Tatiana Smith, she's a fighter in the pool. We expect medals from swimming. We expect maybe 3 or 4. You know, they have a right plan, and when they are in the pool, they do miracles. So we're looking at 4 medals also from their side. So as Team South Africa, when it comes, let me not put Saskok under pressure, but medals will come. Medals will come.
The sports minister says Golide.
Yeah.
He says we're going to have so many gold, we don't even know where to put it.
Yeah, no, that's what we are looking at. Golide must come home. It's the home of Golide, South Africa. So let them bring it home.
How do you feel about your long jump and your high jump as to where do we stand as a country? Because it seems also just a bit quiet. Remember we had the likes of Khotso, who represented us and an absolute star. But where are we now when you look into long jump?
Yeah, people have been asking that what's happening with long jump. We're saying the boys that are jumping now, they are still studying long jump. But we are happy that we've got Cheswa Johnson, we've got Johan van Vieren, who was injured for a long time. But when he came back, he did one jump to qualify. So we hope that they will improve this year, preparing for other major games that are coming. We hope that they will be in the finals. And also in high jump, Brian Wright is still a young man who's developing. And after jumping 225 2 weeks ago, we hope that he will be in the finals.
How is it like being at the Olympic houses? Because, you know, when you think about other sporting codes, football, they'll go to camp. But yes, we know that it's just the athletes. Rugby do it differently with the Springboks, where they include their families as well. And then in terms of Olympics, yes, it's just the athletes and some representations joining their houses. But how is it like and interacting also with other countries in that space?
The village.
You know, being in the village is another community. The community, the spirit is about Olympics. We respect one another that for you to be there, it means you have worked so hard. You have explored your talent to be here. So our team left Sunday. They are in a training camp in Montpellier. In France, they will be moving to the village very soon. But we know that the rugby are there, other sporting codes are already in the village. They are very excited and they are looking forward to that family environment in the village.
Now, with the Olympics, the opening ceremony is quite different to all other sports because the opening ceremony includes the athletes that are involved in the games themselves. In that moment, when you're involved in that opening ceremony with the start of the Olympics, how does it feel? And is it a proud moment that you remember? Is it like maybe singing the national anthem before a soccer match, or is it something completely different and an experience on its own?
You know, the opening ceremony, you cannot compare it with anything. It's unique. You get goosebumps. As soon as they call your name, they say South Africa, and somebody is in front there with a name carrying a flag. You see, Akan is going to be one of the flag bearers. As soon as you march into the stadium, when you look at the stadium, the massive people are looking at you, people that are viewing you from home, wherever in the world, and you say, I've made it. It's different than being alone or in the stadium singing national anthem. Very different, because let's say in a rugby, the national anthem, you find 90 spectators, only South Africans. Sure. But if in Olympics, you get thousands of thousands from foreign countries, and they will stand and support you singing that national anthem.
Do you guys look at outfits? Is that an actual thing? Because we discussed it earlier on, and we were like, sometimes Team SA could do better in terms of outfits. Do you guys look at outfits at other nations?
No, there are people who are dealing with logistics of outfit, but athletes, they accept anything and they become happy with it because you wear it at the unique time. People at home, they say, no, this is what. But for you, it means it symbolizes that thing, something that I'm walking there for the opening ceremony of the Olympics. It will be different for me wearing it after 2 years, because it will be taking you back to the history that we have created, the memories that we have created for you and your family and your country. We appreciate anything that we wear at the Olympics.
But others would like
pyjama.
But anyway, but on a serious note, I think as South Africans, we can't talk about the Olympics or major championship athletics without mentioning the unfortunate situation of not having Caster there. I can also add the unfortunate situation of not having someone like Luvo Manyonga there. These are guys who, when they are ready, 2 medals, whatever color. It's a shame that they are not there, obviously for different reasons.
Yeah, it is unfortunate for us as a federation and for the country that Caster cannot be allowed to compete, which is still fighting that case, and we're still waiting for an outcome from the Swiss. High Court. Luvo, it is unfortunate that he diverted on the athletics life, and he was overcome by other things, but we are playing a role that he must recover. We have found some people who are busy assisting him that he must come back and be a testimony to some of the athletes that are still coming. And then Casta, she's still playing a big role. She's coaching Glen Rose. She's coaching most of the young ones. So we appreciate that they can still plow bike, and we are happy as a country that they're still playing a role.
Talk to us about the importance of, the choice and the decision to stand by Luvo Manyonga, to actually support him, because I see he's also, just coming back into the spotlight again. He's been doing interviews. That support from the federation, not just shunning him out. Talk to us about that.
It was not easy. It was the pressure that we have been receiving from the media that what are you doing as a federation? I had to go to his place in Bokweni, in Cape Town. I spoke to his sister, I spoke to him, and I said, we want to bring you back, but you need to make a decision that you want us to assist you. And he came back coaching around, and we found some sponsors that they will assist him, and they appointed him as an ambassador. He's going to talk to the young kids about wrong decisions that he went through in life, so that he must pick up his life, whatever happened in his life. So we need people like him, and that's what we are doing as a federation. We are not only doing to Luvo, it's a project that we want to run with as Athletes Commission and ASA, that athletes that went astray, we need to go and assist them and come back and plow back in athletics.
Well, that said then, one must ask, for Casta, that's obviously completely different, but in her dealing with her struggles, was the support that was necessary from your guys' point of view, did she find it difficult that maybe the world is maybe being a little bit unfair to her in the situation she finds herself in and has found herself in over the years? And how difficult has it been maybe dealing with that situation from her point of view and the difficulties that come with that?
No, I think also as a country, as a federation, we're saying the world has been difficult to her, very unfair to her and her talent also. But the support that she's getting, what we are saying is a federation and a government, they are behind her, supporting, and the government has once said that this is not the fight about Casta. It's a fight for a young girl who is there at the dusty streets, the young girl who still grows to explore life. So the fight is about that. So she's very strong and she's a fighter.
Which other countries are you looking forward to watch at the Olympic Games? Because yes, Team SA, and we'll stay true to our country. But which other athletes are you looking forward to seeing at these games?
South Africa. South Africa. Secondly, it will be Kenya.
Kenya?
Yeah, Kenyan, I know that in middle distance, where Tsepotsite and Ryan will be running the 1500, Ryan Mphahlele, it will be more on the Kenyans and the Ethiopians. So I want to see that rivalry. In 100 meters, the rivalry, it will be the Jamaicans, the US, and South Africa. Field events is more on the Europe and South Africa.
Speaking Jamaica, USA, I don't know if you've kept up with some of the drama that's been happening lately. Noah Lyles is someone who's very out there. And he's been saying a lot now, especially now that he's focusing on 100 meters, to a point where I saw recently on social media, Usain Bolt was doing a podcast where he was saying, no, he wishes he was competing so that he could get Noah Lyles to shut up a little bit. He's feeling Noah Lyles is a bit loud. Do you think that rivalry, all of these things that are happening around, in a healthy way, the America-Jamaica rivalry right now, make it even the more interesting for us going into these Olympics? Because, 100 meters, any Olympics, that's something we look forward to.
Yeah, Americans, they believe that they own the sprint.
Yeah.
So the Jamaicans, they say, we will take it away from you. I remember 1996 in Atlanta when this guy from Canada won the 100 meters. And the Americans were saying, sprint is gone in America. We need to go and develop somebody to bring it back. So they believe that they own the sprints. And in the time of Usain Bolt, they were struggling to challenge him. That's why he's saying, you came at the wrong time, Noah. I wanted you at my time so I can show who is in charge or who is the king of the sprint. But we like that atmosphere because it motivates one another that who's strong. But we like it, the spirit. That's what the Kenyans are saying, that we see you, America, you are developing middle distance. And the middle distance that we are developing are mostly Kenyans. Yeah. You know, we like it, and it's good that Omanyala, you see the 100, Akani, they say who's going to be the African number one in 100 meters. So that rivalry, that healthy rivalry, it builds the sports.
How do you feel about Team SA going to the relay? Because we have the talent. We've got the group athletes lined up together, and in the last games, unfortunately, they were their own demise. So now going into this one, how do you feel about this team?
We hope they don't do the mistake that they have done. They have learned from those mistakes. The coach is very aware, the mandate is given. We don't want to see the same mistake happening. You know, in relay, the changeover. The changeover is very important. Yeah. The taking of the baton, running with the baton is very important. But I think they have learned, they have trained a lot. We have created training programs in Potchefstroom, Europe. They've been training as a team. So we hope now they know each other, when to move, when to take a baton, when to exchange, and when to reach the finishing line.
All right. Before we let you go, you talk about, you know, coaching elite athletes. I do know that in your spare time, you coach the likes of Mahlatse and Mphahlele.
That's top notch. That's the most elite you can go. You know what I mean?
Actually, that was, what, 14 years ago?
Yes.
14 years ago. Just after the World Cup, you said. But how is that, you know, as to, you know, spending your time as well, coaching the likes of Mahlatse? I believe you guys met at some prison to help him out.
Mahlatse was an inmate.
No, Mahlatse was not an inmate. That's my environment. That's my environment, correctional services. I work as a correctional officer, but my work more is focused on sports. That we create programs for employees and offenders. 2009 Confederation Cup, that's where we met. And then coaching athletes, I think my most achievement that I can remember is coaching Melton Kekana, winning the World Students, being a World Student champion for 4 years. It was not easy. But I'm juggling around to make sure that, because I love athletics, I spend most of my time now focusing on administration, balancing with coaching, balancing with studies. I'm studying with Nelson Mandela, doing the international sports management course. I have a family. I'm doing my best.
So normally football coaches and rugby coaches, they lose all their hair. So yours, is it a choice, or you've also lost it because of the coaching?
It's a stress level. You know, it's a stress level. You are late for the assignment. Athletes, they will call you, are we training this afternoon, coach? Home, please bring some bread, you know. Federation, athletes are leaving. Is there any plans? You know, you try to juggle around, but that's something that I love, that I try to balance. I know it's not easy, but I'm doing my best.
Hendrik, maybe on a sad note, let's not forget a young man who's no longer young anymore now, Jack Freitag. I remember seeing him at Afis all those years ago. He went on to become the world champion a few weeks ago. Dying the way that he died, and also he's one of those who sort of veered off the road a little bit and got caught in their own things. You must have known him well as a Pretoria boy. Just the sadness and your recollection of how talented he was, and how sad that his life came to an end the way it did.
Yeah, it came as a shock to the athletics family for him to be brutally killed like that. I traveled with Jack Freitag in his career. I remember when he jumped the SA record in Oswarand. I remember when he won the World Juniors. That level, that there was a talent there. But you know, along the way of life, you associate yourself sometimes with wrong people. And at the end of the day, you are straight to what you should have achieved, being a role model. We're saying may his soul rest in peace. We have lost a hero. We have lost an SA record holder in high jump.
So lastly then, before we go, Bra Hendricks, as to you mentioned the next Olympic Games, right, that you believe that we'll get more gold medals. In between that, the preparation that you think we need to undergo and how much work we then need to put in to ensure that Team South Africa, in terms of the long jump, that we do grow, that there are more athletes, and bringing that gold without the pressure in these games.
You know, Olympics is a 4-year cycle. As soon as there's a closing ceremony after this Paris, the athletes will come back and rest for 2 months, and we start preparing for 2028. The project is already there, the plan is there. We're going to sit in November, agree on the project, and we implement for 2028. The young ones that are still coming, we know we have a team that is going for the under-20 World Champs in Lima in September. They will be part of our plan for 2028.
How easy is it to keep an eye on the young ones? Because normally, you know, in other sporting codes, they struggle to, you know, scout the younger talent and then they pop up later, mainly the football side. But in terms of athletics, tracking them while they're still young and knowing that in 10 years' time, that's the future.
Yeah, we've got athletes, coaches that are very good in identifying talent. You can see with the progression of the athletes when they perform. So we get into that family relationship with them as a federation and say, take care of these kids. How can we assist? And then make sure that in the next championships, 4 years to come or 10 years to come, these athletes must bring gold to the country. So that's the relationships that we are building with parents and the coaches.
Bra Hendricks, thank you so much for joining us. I believe you've got a quick summer plan with Mahlatse Mphahlele. Can Sizwe Mabena join?
I'll be the water boy. That's my coach. When he coached me, I was lean and mean. And then life happened.
And then now you're holding a soccer ball to hide your things.
I'm going back now.
No, but let me say thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk about the Olympics, to talk about athletics. That our athletes are ready and we focus. We just need your support. We need media to support them. We need the citizens of this country to rally behind the team, and they will deliver.
They definitely will deliver, and we'll be seeing Mahlatse Mphahlele, Sizwe Mabena with 6 packs in about 6 months' time. So hold on to this episode very dearly, but that's how we wrap up the Arena Sports Show. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as we did, and all the best to Team South Africa.